Hey guys, it's Heather. So today I'm going to be doing a foundation routine. There we go. So sorry my hair is such a mess, but I wanted to get this done and a lot of you have been asking. So I'm just going to show you kind of like an everyday foundation routine. So first things first, I've already washed my face just with a regular face wash. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some moisturizer, and I'm just going to use my Mary Kay Time Wise Age Fighting Moisturizer. I've had this for a little while and I'm just trying to use it up. Just take a little bit on my hand and I just like to apply it onto my face. So nothing too bad. Sorry my hair is a mess. I just wanted to film this up for you guys. Okay, so once I do that, I just kind of let it sit in. It usually sets in quite fast. The next thing I'm going to take is my Benefit Professional. And I really like this stuff just to apply like right in here where my pores are. Let me see here. And it's just kind of like a brown color. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and then I'm just going to kind of press it. I don't have like really big pores, so I'm just going to press it like kind of in there. You don't want to like smear it all over the place because then it won't really do as well. But okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, there. Can you see better? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to zoom, or just pat it in. The next foundation primer that I love to use is my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I love this stuff. So I just take this, my face is clean, and I apply it pretty much everywhere. I'm almost out of this. I need to get some more. Everywhere that doesn't have my Professional. And then I just kind of blend this in. This is just like a smooth primer. I really like the way it feels. So once you do that, now it's time for foundation. The foundation I've been loving lately is my MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and I'm in NW18. And I'm also mixing it with my Leo Ellie Triple the Solution BB Cream. I've tried to sell this off and it never sold, but now I saw Samantha Sherman mix the two of these together a while back, and I started doing that and it actually really works nicely. Just because this is more pinker, this is more yellow, so it kind of makes a good, you know, a good little mixture. So I'm just going to basically pour my Studio Fix onto the back of my hand. And then here's my Leo Ellie. And I just do like, two little pumps there. Favorite brush to apply foundation at the moment is my Sigma F88 brush. I just take it in there and then I just kind of start to stipple it on. And I really like the Studio Fix fluid. And I just kind of rub it in, go down my neck. And it does a good job at covering my blemishes as well. So I just kind of like do one side of my face first. No rhyme or reason, but just do one side of my face first and then I go on to the next side. So then I'm just going to take some more and then just kind of, and usually that little bit of foundation is so plenty. I don't ever really have to go back in. I don't use powder with this foundation. I don't feel like I need to. It sets, it stays nice, but if you get oily, definitely set it with your favorite powder. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my under eye concealer, and for that I love using my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I'm using the one in NC20. It just comes in like a little pump, and I love to mix it with my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and this is the shade 10 Light. So what I do is I just take the Maybelline one and just kind of dab a little bit on my hand, just like that. And then I just take my little Pro Longwear Concealer and just use like just half a pump, just a little bit. You don't need a lot of this. And then I just take my finger and I just kind of mix them together and it just kind of forms that, and then I just dab on. I just find like my concealer blending with my finger is the best way, because I find that any brush just doesn't do the job as good as my concealer, and I like to just definitely pat. Then I just take my foundation brush and just make sure everything blends. And again, if you get oily, definitely set your foundation. And that's pretty much it like that. So it just really helps my under eye area. It looks nice. I really like that. And then after that, I go in and I set my concealer with the MAC Emphasize powder. I love doing this. And my favorite brush is the e.l.f. small tapered brush. I like to set it with that. And I just get some on my brush like that. And then I just kind of dab and then sweep. And I basically set my under eye concealer. And this has a little bit of like satin to it. So also you can kind of like bring it up here and it'll help blend your highlight into your blush as well. So I like to do that. And it may not pick up on person, but or like on camera, but it really does give a nice bright effect, but it also really gives a nice texture look to the skin. Okay, so pretty much that's it. Now I'm going to show you what I've been using to contour. I'm going to take my Sigma F05 small contour brush, and I'm going to take Benefit Hula, which is one of my favorites, and just looks like that. And I'm just going to take a little bit on there, tap off my brush, and then you always want to start your contour from the top of your ear towards the corner of your mouth. And I always stop about halfway, like where my arch is. That's where I stop my contour. So I'm going to start. You can do the fish face or, you know, turn your face over or whatever. But I just like to do that, and I always want to start back here because you want the most color back here. And then, like I said, I stop about halfway, and then I just blend. And I just use circular motions, and this is a really nice contour shade. It's a perfect color. And that's pretty much all I do when I'm contouring. If I'm bronzing, I mean, I have a lot of favorites. Like I like Max Harmony, I like Benefit Dallas, but this is like my go-to look. And then that just kind of really sculpts your face. And then I bring a little bit, like whatever's left on the brush up here. I don't really have a big forehead or anything, but just so it kind of seamlessly blends. Now, if it goes down too far, you can just take your foundation brush and just kind of, you know, whatever's left on the brush, and just kind of get that really nice sculpt going. And I'm gonna apply blush. I'm just gonna, I change up my blush all the time. So I'm just gonna show you like what I've been wearing lately. And that's NARS Deep Throat. Love this blush. So I'm gonna show you that. And I'm gonna use my Sigma F10 powder brush, or powder blush brush. And just take some of that on my brush, tap off the excess. I like to smile, and then I just kind of apply it here. Not so much on the apples of the cheeks, but kind of like in the middle again. And then you always want to blend it with your contour. In this, you can just really build up. This is not a crazy pigmented blush. I mean, it's very pigmented, but it's not, you can definitely build it up. And it just looks so beautiful. I hope the camera's picking up how beautiful it looks. You can even see how, where I put the Emphasize underneath here, how it's giving it that glow. It's gonna help basically my highlight blend in, because a lot of times, like, you see people, they'll contour and then they'll put their blush, but it's like, you can see the steps. You definitely want it all to blend in to make your face look more natural. And then I always just kind of take my foundation brush and just make sure that it's like, just kind of swipe it over just to make sure that nothing is, you know, not blended. And you can start on the apples of your cheeks, but when you have a rounder face, it looks more flattering when you start kind of like halfway. That's like my mark for everything. Okay, now I'm going to show you my favorite highlighting powder, which I have a bunch, but I'm going to show you my Too Faced Candlelight powder that I've been loving. Hopefully the camera will pick up how beautiful this is. And you can even set your under eye concealer with this, but it's a little bit more sparkly than the Emphasize. And then my favorite brush for that is definitely my e.l.f. small stipple brush. Love it. I just take a little bit on there, tap off your brush, and then I just apply it right there. And I always blend it down. I always blend it down to meet my blush, because you don't want to step. But that Emphasize that we put underneath really helps that. Yeah, you can see the glow when I turn to the side. Super pretty. So yeah, that's basically it. And then I've been setting my face with my MAC Fix Plus foundation. My MAC Fix Plus, so just kind of, all right guys, so that is it. That is my full face routine. This is what I've been using lately, so I just definitely wanted to show you. I've had a lot of questions regarding my MAC Studio Fix Fluid, which I'm in love with, and you know, all that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Super easy, nothing really to it. I'm hoping you can see that candlelight is so beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. But yeah, that is what I've been loving lately. As far as contour shades, my go-to is Hoola, but I do love Benefits Dallas. I like Mac's Harmony. I even like this Bone Beige from MAC. So there's a lot of different ones, but Hoola is kind of like my go-to. And then if I do like an all over bronze and not really contour, there's others that I like. Oh, and if you do kind of fill in, I'm just at home lounging. It's just Sunday and I'm going to be just taking this off. I'm going to go cook dinner and all that stuff. So I didn't want to like waste a bunch of concealer, but if I was to cover my blemishes, which I mean, honestly, the foundation did a good enough job. Really, it took all the redness out. Because a lot of times with concealer, I have like hormonal, like period that time of the month blemishes, so they're kind of large. So even, I mean, you can't, concealer's not going to take away that like bump. It's just going to take away the redness, which my foundation did. But I love using my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC20. If you're using a MAC product, as far as for blemishes, definitely get an NC product because it's going to, the coolness in the product is going to counteract the redness. So you definitely want to do that because an NW is more pink. So the pink is just going to emphasize the pink, if that makes sense. So that's what I've learned over the years and I really believe it works. So that is it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.